Hello, and welcome to this information session where we are talking about our trek to Petra, which is taking place in November 2023 and November 2024. Firstly, a bit about our health and safety assurance. So your health and safety is our top priority, so please be assured we take steps to ensure you not only have a memorable experience, but a safe one too. We constantly monitor and follow the advice of the British Foreign, Commonwealth and Development Office, who provides recommendations and advice to British travellers about travel to certain destinations. We will never operate a trip in an area where there is a clear and present risk to our team members, whether that is due to a health outbreak, political instability, natural disasters, or anything else. If travel restrictions, either in the UK or Jordan, prevent safe travel, we will look to either postpone or cancel your trip at no cost to you. Please note that at the time of travel, there may be enhanced safety and security measures in airports, bag drop may take longer, and you may need to provide a certificate of health or proof of vaccination. But we will inform you in advance about any information that's relating to your travel arrangements. So on our trek to Petra, you will join fellow travellers on this awe-inspiring trek to one of the new seven wonders of the world. Step back in time and follow the ancient Bedouin migration route to the city of Petra. Spend 5 days experiencing some of the most spectacular natural scenery of Jordan. And best of all the return flights, meals and accommodation are included in your costs. So Jordan is an Arabic country filled with contrasts. It is rich with culture and heritage, littered with Roman cities, castles, biblical sites, lifeless seas, and vast deserts. While the capital, Amman, is buzzing with a trendy mix of cafes, bars, arts galleries, and restaurants. And you'll see how far you'll be travelling on the aeroplane. Petra is arguably the most iconic city in Jordan. A UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the world's new seven wonders, this ancient rock city was the capital of the Nabatean kingdom, built around 2,300 years ago. The imposing rose stone palaces are an impressive testament to the power and influence of the Nabateans, who controlled trade around the area in the 3rd century BC. Petra is surrounded by hills in which tombs have been carved into the pink sandstone. This stunning and remote trek is voted by National Geographic as one of the world's best hikes and is growing a reputation as the Inca Trail of the Middle East. We will be covering up to 10 miles a day over 5 consecutive days of walking. Besides the stony desert landscape, there are sections of narrow trail across rocky terrain, including some easy scrambling. No previous trekking experience is required, although it would be a great advantage, but you must ensure you have done plenty of hill walking training in advance of the trip to prepare yourself for the challenge ahead. So the terrain. The terrain is going to vary throughout your 5 days of trekking, but in general, it is largely rocky, dry and uneven. Some of the days trekking have a very gentle increase in elevation, and some days have very challenging sections with steep uphill and downhill gradients. Your accommodation. So you will stay in a hotel with ensuite facilities while in Amman or Aqaba. Location will be dependent on the flight schedules. A guest house in Wadi Musa, and you will camp in tents during a trek, usually 2 to a tent. Foam sleeping mats will be provided, but you will need to bring your own sleeping bag. Toilet facilities during a trek consist of a small toilet tent covering a hole in the ground. There may be very basic shower facilities at camp, but this isn't guaranteed, and water must be used sparingly. So we advise that you don't rely on this and bring a pack of baby wipes. However, a small bowl of water will be provided to wash your hands before meals. So what will your food and drink be like? So your meals during a trek are cooked by a chef who will prepare simple but nutritious dishes. Typical breakfasts may include cheese, eggs, jam, butter, tomatoes, fruit, tea, and coffee. For lunch, you will prepare your own sandwiches and you will carry them with you. And dinner will comprise dishes such as soup, chicken, rice, vegetarian dishes, and salads. All your cutlery and equipment will be provided for you, so there's no need to bring anything like that. And while staying in cities, the meals will be at the hotel or at local restaurants. You must inform us in advance if you have any dietary requirements, so we can make sure that these requirements are fulfilled for you. Tap water is not safe to drink in Jordan, even at the hotel. Mineral water will be provided during the trek in a big container for the group, which you can then decant into your own water bottles. And you must start the day with at least 3 litres of water in your day pack. And you must keep hydrated during your trekking day. At breakfast, you can also make yourself a black coffee or tea. If you do have any preferences, such as a decaf or a herbal tea, please make sure you bring your own supply because only the basics will be supplied for you. So if you have anything specialist, please bring that with you. You will need to bring your own bottles or a camelback, so carry at least 3 litres of water per day. So that could be a camelback that holds 2 litres, and then a separate bottle just as a spare as a backup, just in case your camelback or platy should fail. Electrolyte tablets are flavoured tablets which contain salts and minerals which are naturally lost from your body when you sweat. If you add these to your water bottle, it not only offers flavour to your water, but it can help prevent dehydration before it begins. And these are widely available in outdoor stores. What will the climate be like? So temperatures in November can range from 15 to 20 degrees Celsius during the day and drop to around 10 degrees at night. However, you should be prepared for variations to this, which are out of our control. Loose, lightweight, long clothing is both respectful to the local culture and cooler in the heat than having exposed skin. Weather during a trek will be dry, but there may be some strong winds. Rain, although very rare, is not impossible. Please note, these temperatures and conditions above are historically accurate, but climate change can impact the seasons. So you may experience uncharacteristic conditions during a trip which are out of our control. And the guides will continually assess the situation and make decisions to ensure that you get the best enjoyment and safety out of the trip. So your itinerary. So on day one, you will fly to Jordan. So you'll fly from London to Jordan and transfer to a nearby hotel for an overnight stay. So depending on your airline schedules, these will either stay in Aqaba or Amman. So day two, so you will transfer to Wadi Finan for your first day's walk across Hamada landscape. This is dry, rock-strewn desert with little sand. The terrain is fairly flat all day, but there are spectacular mountain views and expansive wadis, also known as dry valleys. Tonight, you will set up camp in Wadi Barwas. Please excuse my pronunciation of some of these names. And there you'll see some of the terrain that you'll be walking through. And the beautiful night sky. Day three, you will leave the stony Hamada Desert behind and you'll walk around the foot of the mountains to reach an ancient Bedouin migration path, which ascends steeply across rocks and small boulders, going high into the mountains. This section is very challenging and can be loose underfoot and will involve scrabbling rocks, taking around 4 hours, but the reward is amazing views over the stunning Wadi Araba Desert. We eventually descend into Wadi Al Fayed for a well-deserved dip in its cool waters, and I'm sure that will be very welcome. A perfect place for lunch and a rest. We will then walk upstream through dense foliage before reaching a dry riverbed surrounded with colourful sandstone outcrops to reach our camping spot. A group of trekkers having a rest on their journey. The more beautiful landscape. Day 4. So this morning you'll retrace a route along the riverbed and gradually climb up the hills following Bedouin shepherd paths to discover some of the most spectacular scenery in Jordan. This path is particularly challenging, becoming less defined and involving some easy scrambling to pass large boulders and other obstacles. The trail will continue along the wadi floor and gently climbs up into the pale-coloured sandstone hills with incredible views across the surrounding mountains and canyons until you reach camp. So today you'll be trekking around about 8 to 9 hours and approximately 16 kilometres. There you go. You'll see some of the rocks and stones that you'll be walking through and scrabbling over. Beautiful blue skies and more stunning scenery. To day 5. So the scenery will change dramatically today, from deep wadis to a wonderful wide open sandstone hills that feel almost moon-like. The trail will pass agricultural fields and some Bedouin encampments before our trail once again becomes indistinct with some more scrambling. There's a lot of scrambling involved on this trip. We descend into Little Petra to visit this fabulous site for a taster of the main site, which we will encounter tomorrow. A short walk then takes us to a permanent campsite, which is uniquely located in the midst of the sandstone mountains in Baida. So you'll trek approximately 5 to 6 hours today, which is around 14 kilometres. Day 6, Petra. So today our trail takes us across open farmland for the first 2 hours and then contours around the mountain ridge to enter Petra itself. The views across to the Araba Desert, some 100 kilometres away, are impressive, and after 5 days of hard trekking, the first glimpse of the top of Petra's monastery is jaw-dropping. Our route takes us into the main site and to the heart of Petra, exiting via the dark Seek to enable us to re-enter the site through the main Seek and experience the most famous view of Petra, the treasury. We then proceed with a full sightseeing tour, including the facades, street, urn tomb, the theatre, colonnaded streets, royal tombs, and Qasr al-Bint, before leaving the site and heading to a hotel in nearby Wadi Musa for a comfortable night's sleep in the guest house, which I'm sure will be very welcome after a few nights of camping. So today your trekking will be around 5 to 6 hours, and it's just around about 16 kilometres, and then you'll have some sightseeing on top of that too. Now you can see the entrance there, absolutely stunning. Another shot. The view from the top. Okay, so day 7, hopefully some sightseeing. Now this will depend on the flight schedules and is subject to change, but hopefully you can spend the day visiting more highlights of this fascinating country. You will either visit Wadi Rum on a jeep tour to explore the spectacular desert, including Lawrence of Arabia's Spring and the natural rock bridge of Jebel Futh, or you will head north towards the Dead Sea for an opportunity to have a float in the waters. If time allows, you will also visit Mount Nebo, where Moses is said to have seen the Promised Land and the ancient town of Madaba. And overnight you will be in a hotel, some more comfort for you. And day 8 is sadly our return to London. So you will transfer to the airport for your flight back to the UK. Depending on the flight schedules, you will either depart from Aqaba or Amman. Breakfast will be included today. The FAQs. So communication. So Jordan is served by 3 main mobile networks, including Orange. Coverage is widespread, but your access to phone reception will vary depending on your own home network, your roaming capabilities, contract type, and even your mobile handsets. In general, most people should have reception while in the cities and possibly along some of the trek routes. Wi-Fi Wi-Fi is available in hotels, although it may be very slow and unreliable and not like we're used to in the UK. Please contact your phone provider to find out details about costs and remember to turn off data roaming on your phone to avoid incurring high data charges. Travel insurance. So when you sign up, we can give you a link to the travel company that we recommend and who most of our travellers use. Footwear. Trainers will be unsuitable for this trip, so you must bring boots and make sure they're worn in before you come along. Age limit. So the minimum age is 18, although if you're 16 and 17 and are accompanied by a parent or guardian, then you're able to come too. There is no upper age limit. Have you got a medical problem? Absolutely fine, but please see your GP for a consultation first. All medical conditions must be declared, and if necessary, a medical form signed by your GP. And we will contact you. If anything does flag up on our system, we will contact you just for clarification. How challenging is it? So as you can imagine, this trek is rated challenging for someone of a good fitness level. And there are a number of factors which make this trip challenging. You will be trekking for 5 consecutive days, averaging 6 hours each day, which is a lot. And if you're not used to it, it can be really hard on your body. You will carry your own day pack each day. The terrain is largely rocky, dry and uneven, and some paths are along mountain edges and narrow ledges with sheer drops. And as you've seen in some of the photos you've already seen, you can get an idea of what the terrain is like. You will be trekking long distances over varying terrain, which includes some uphill sections in varying weather conditions. Although some of the days trekking have a very gentle increase in elevation, some days have a very challenging sections with steep uphill and downhill gradients, and in some parts may involve scrambling over rocks. You will be walking for many hours over consecutive days, as we've already said, and you will stay in basic campsites. Please do not underestimate the importance of training. The more training you do, the more familiar your body will be in recovery after a long day's trekking, so you can start each day rested and prepared. You must take responsibility for coming to Jordan as fit as you possibly can be. How should you train? Well, get outside and start walking. If you're not a regular walker, start slowly with your short distances, and then as you get more comfortable, increase your mileage and add in more challenging terrain until you can comfortably walk for several consecutive days on hilly terrain and a heavy backpack. Hill walking with a backpack should feature highly in your training to prepare your body. However, I'm aware that some people, if you live in the east of England like I do, hills are very sparse. So if you've got a gym that has a stairmaster, do make use of it. It's very good for training, getting some stamina in your legs. So other activities which can complement but shouldn't replace hill walking include running, cycling, gym workouts, boot camps. Building up your core and leg muscle strength is important, so exercises such as squats, lunges, push-ups, planks and crunches will really help enhance your training. And these exercises can be done at home, so you don't need to join a gym. But you should take your training seriously and arrive as fit as you can be, so you get the most out of this challenge. Who is right for this challenge? Well, really, anybody. Somebody who might want to kickstart a healthier lifestyle, someone celebrating a big birthday, someone who's up for a laugh, um, someone who loves a bit of luxury and just wants to downgrade slightly. Anybody could sign up for one of these trips. But how much does it cost? So registration fee is payable at the time of booking, and you can then choose one of the following options. So self-funded, so you'll pay your own tour cost balance, and you are welcome to fundraise separately for any charity of choice, but you do not have to. Any fundraising undertaken cannot be used for your trip costs. Sponsorship, fully fundraise for your chosen charity. This includes your tour cost balance and a donation to charity. Or you can go through the flexi option, so you'll pay your own tour cost balance and fundraise for a charity of your choice. Please note that the trip costs for 2023 and 2024 do vary, so please visit our website for details. So what's included? So your return flights from London, all your transport in London, your accommodation, your meals, your guides, trek permits, and you'll have a tour manager from Different Travel too. The trip does not include a potential flight surcharge for 2023. We're getting closer now to the dates, so it could be that the flights have increased, so we would pass on that surcharge. The Jordan visa, which is currently £49, your own personal expenses, vaccinations, your travel insurance, tips, and your own trek kit and equipment. What supports will you get? So if you fundraise for a charity, their team will support you throughout the challenge with your fundraising. You will be provided with a kit list, full trip dossier, training guide, discount vouchers, and more. You will be accompanied by a first aid trained tour manager and professional local guides. And you will also be invited to a pre-departure meeting with your teammates and Different Travel. This is likely to be online because with our open treks, we find that participants are spread around the country. So this is likely to be online. So how do you sign up? So visit our website at differenttravel.com. On the navigation bar, you will see our trip. So just click on there and just search for Jordan. And then it will come up to our Jordan Trek to Petra 2024. And there are 2 dates on there. And then just click book now on one of those dates. So if you do have any questions, feel free to contact us. This can either be via email on info@different-travel.com or call us on 02381 449 447. I hope this has helped to answer some of your questions, but do feel free to get back to us if you do have anything else that you'd like to ask before you make any booking. Thank you for listening.